Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show, Week 9 edition. I'm Dan Albano. That is Steve Fryer. We are here to make our picks for another huge week of high school football. Mr. Fryer, as regular season is almost over, not before some very exciting games with lots of league title ramifications, and just happens to be maybe the regular season biggest game of the regular season. Orange County is coming on Saturday night. Number 1 versus number 2. Two teams ranked in the top 8 in the country. That's Mater Dei-Servite. Before we get to that game, there's plenty of other action going on in Orange County that we got to predict on. You are leading the race for the tacos by about 3 games after we kind of split last week. I want to start back in that exciting Pacific Hills League. And how about Irvine, new to the Orange County top 25 this week, breaking in at number 25. Vaqueros 8-0, taking on, I think, kind of their rivals, definitely Portola, 7-1, coming off a surprising 10-0 loss to Laguna Hills. Took away some of the luster of this game. Could have had 2 8-0 teams in the fair city of Irvine facing off, but the Bulldogs will have a lot of pride. They're at home, looking to bounce back after their first loss. Teams often respond quite well after their first loss. Who do you have in this one, Fryer?
I'm an Irvine believer now, Dan. I'll tell you what, Cameron Goods was excellent last week. 250 something yards, and they run it pretty well. And it's like the old Terry Hennigan days over there again. They run the ball really well and they play really good defense. And I like Irvine to win this game. Portola lost last week 10-0 to Laguna Hills. Yeah. Nothing to get too shook up about there, I think, because Laguna Hills, I think that's their 3rd shutout. So Laguna Hills is a solid club, but I like Irvine to win this game.
I'm also picking the Vaqueros. I picked them last week in one of my bold picks against beat Dana Hills. And that was a road game, Bo Kelly. But I think that, Vaquero defense is for real. And Portola's numbers, they weren't bad offensively against Laguna Hills. So Nova, the real good running back, he didn't I think he averaged 3.9 yards per carry.
Exactly. First time under 100 yards this year, I think, too. Held to 79.
79. End up passing it and rushing it about almost the same.
Yeah.
Of course, they were in some comeback mode. But it's going to be interesting league, the Pacific.
It's a fun league, guy.
So we'll see. Irvine going to 9-0. These teams did not play in the spring. Interesting enough. So I know. I know both of them are anxious to play. They're definitely the seem like the 2 best teams in Irvine for sure. Obviously, the Carroll's in the top 25. Shout out to Coach Rishi, doing a great job in his 3rd season after coming over from Savannah. Irvine alum as well, so he's fired up. How about another big league game? Garden Grove League, Fryer. Santiago. This is also on Friday night. Santiago 7-1. Rancho Alamitos 7-1. This seems like it could be for Garden Grove League title here in Week 9. This game is at the fabulous Garden Grove High School. Who do you got in this one, Fryer?
This is a tough one. I'll tell you. I saw Santiago last week, and I was impressed by him. Isaac Hernandez has been their lead running back for the most part, but Art Martinez was big for them last week. Fantastic, had a great game. And then they've got this guy who's a running back, fullback sort of guy, defensive lineman. I got to look at it here. Satamai Siofele Ropati, 5'10", 260 pounds. Nose tackle deluxe guy, man. He made this one tackle with goal line stand that was fantastic. And when he runs the ball, oh my gosh, get out of the way, And he's a really good 2-way football player, loves playing the game. And then Rancho, they're usually, at or near the top of the Garden Grove League year after year after year. Now the Garden Grove High's kind of moved out to the Big 4 League. So it's a tough one. Yeah, the quarterback for Rancho Alamitos, Chris Hurley, one of a zillion Hurleys who played football in the city of Garden Grove. He's out for the year. But they've got Isaac Plata, a senior playing quarterback. He played he started some games for them a couple years ago, sophomore, so he's not new to the situation. So I like Rancho Alamitos. I think it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I'm going to go with the Rancho boys on this one.
All right, I'm going to go with the Cavaliers in this one. Interesting matchup. It's going to be some good ground games matching up. You talked about Hernandez. Leal is a really good running back for Rancho Alamitos. Updated stats.
Anthony Leal.
955 yards, 15 touchdowns. He's also a threat on defense. It's interesting. I think one comparison team they have, you probably saw this, is Anaheim.
Yes.
Is that Santiago lost, I think it was 39-28 to the Colonists. Right. Rancho Alamitos beat Colonists.
By 1 point.
Was it that close? Okay.
22-21.
Okay. So, and the one loss for Rancho Alamitos and veteran coach Mike Enright is against Troy, who's turned out to be a really good Troy team. So going to be a really interesting one in this one. So Garden Grove League definitely representing. These are the kind of games that week 9, the players are psyched. The coaches are putting in a lot of extra time to get ready for this game. How about back to the Seaview League? We've talked a lot about the Seaview League, the South County League this year. Another interesting one, Trabuco Hills, 20th in Orange County, 7-1 now. Only loss is to Tustin. Taking on Capo, 4-4. They're also ranked in the county top. They're 21st in the county. 22nd. So two teams really closely ranked. Capo's been struggling on defense, but played better defensively last week. Did still lose, but didn't give up 60 or 67 against El Toro. So much better against last week. Here are the Mustangs coming in with a big-time ground attack. You've probably seen these numbers. Drew Barrett, Will Burns. These guys, between the quarterback and the running back, these guys can run the rock. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, run the rock pretty good. 227 rushing yards a game. Ooh, that'll get it done. Yeah. I was kind of slow to come around to Trabuco, but man, I am very impressed by that ball control style. And I think that's going to be a very key thing for the Mustangs. And I'm picking Trabuco to win this game. I think they'll ball control it pretty good. Keep Trey Kukuk and the receivers that Trey Kukuk, the quarterback at Capo, has, Dane Benedicts, et cetera. Got some guys that can catch it. Yeah. But I like Trabuco Hill's ability to control this game. And next week they got El Toro. They can't look past Capo. I'm talking about Trabuco Hill. And and Dan, I think that when we have our conversation with Coach Deere, I think Trabuco Hills coach Mark Nolan's going to be in our discussion. I like Trabuco Hills in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be I like the Mustangs as well. I think one guy, on this ground attack is I think I wonder if Capo will be getting back their good defensive lineman, Luke Meyer, in this game, defensive tackle, 6'3", 290. I think they could use him back.
Sure.
As they're trying to slow down Drew Barrett, Will Burns. Last week, Barrett, 187 yards. Then Will Burns, the quarterback, ran for 111 yards or about 100 yards against Aliso. And these guys, that's how you get to over 300 yards rushing, just like that. So, so we'll see. I think Luke Myers, that defensive lineman, is one to watch and see if he can help out. I also got the Mustangs. All right, moving back to the amazing Crestview League. All the Crestview League did in non-league was produce a composite record of about 26-2. They were fabulous in non-league. One of the great marks in Orange County. And then first round prior, delivered 2 games that are decided by 3 points. Yes. This league is nuts. Now here we come back once again. Foothill at Villa Park. That game is going to be at El Medina on Friday. Both these teams 7-1. Foothill coming off its first loss, narrow loss to win a thrilling game, one of the best games of the year in Orange County against Yorba Linda. Yorba Linda scored with 11 seconds left.
You were at that game.
That was a great game. Yeah. Crazy game, 6 lead changes. I think Foothill thought they won it and kind of celebrated like they won it. A late touchdown, I think it was 80 yards by Austin Overeem, who's just having an incredible breakout season. But there was a minute 20 left. But now they're taking on Villa Park, who's coming off a narrow win against El Medina. I think El Medina might have scored very late in this game to make it as close as it was, as I think that's what Manny told me, Manny Alvarez, who was at that game. But Villa Park, their one loss is to Vista Marietta. That is looking like a team to watch out for in Division II, Lumi,
Yes.
I think. And,
Division II.
And Vista Marietta's only losses to Norco, who
Right.
maybe is in Division I. That
And
was
Norco
really
beat Santa Margarita, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Good team.
so Vista Marietta is looking like definitely a very strong team out of the Inland Empire.
Right.
So who do you got in this game, Friar? This is a very good rivalry game as well.
Yeah, I think Villa Park's got the athletes that that can maybe hang out there, and I don't know, how do you stop Austin Overton from making those crazy acrobatic catches that I saw in your videos there. I think when we do the all county photo shoot, I think Austin Overton will be getting an invitation, perhaps. But so. He's averaging 25 yards a catch and 140 receiving yards a game, 16 touchdowns. I think Villa Park's got the athletes back there to go to work with him, and also Brady Schrank, who's a great receiver also for Foothill. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Foothill quarterback Brody Jones. So I think Villa Park's got what has what it takes to win this game. Nathan Cornerly, the Villa Park quarterback, he's not a spectacular guy, but the guy is steady as heck, and he's a mistakes-free quarterback. That's what you need in a game like this. They need to keep the ball out of that Foothill offense's hands, and I think Villa Park's got the defense and the offensive stability to get it done. Spartans get the win. You're going Foothill, aren't you?
No, and I've been picking Foothill all the.
That's why I said that.
We've clashed on Foothill.
And I've been wrong a lot on Foothill, pal. I got to admit that.
I picked him right against Orange. I didn't get him right against Yorba Linda. Yorba Linda impressed the heck out of me.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
They're very good. I don't know how, as much as, and I love that combination, Overeen and Brody Jones, but he needs some help. Austin can't continue to make one spectacular catch after another, out leaping two defenders and racing. I don't think, the guy is human.
Sure he can.
That's not, for a week after week, that starts to be tough. And the young man does, he does, he's on special teams. He's going to start to get up a little slower, and, football's a tough game. So
yeah,
I think Foothill needs to find some help for Austin. This is probably going to be a tough week to get it. I think Villa Park has a little bit more athletes on the secondary, and so I like the Spartans, who I saw against Vista Marietta. I'm anxious. I'm going to be at this game on Friday. I'm anxious to see them again. I've seen Foothill a lot, and I think they're excellent. This league is tough. This league is tough.
It's a great league.
And if Villa Park wins and Yorba Linda wins against El Medina, then week 10 got Villa Park, Yorba Linda for the Crestview League title.
All right, well, that'll do it. We have no more games to talk about, so it's good chatting with you, Dan.
That is it, except for game of regular season.
We got another game?
We got another game.
It is here.
Saturday night, Santa Ana Stadium, 8 o'clock kickoff. It's on Bally's TV. And it's going to be, you can follow my updates on OCVarsity Guy. I'll be there at Saturday night. And what a game it is. Mater Dei, number 1 in the country, 6-0, 3-0, the Trinity League. Then you got Servite, 8th in the country, Max Preps. They are 8-0, 3-0. And, it's an interesting game, Friar. You might just say, hey, first, number 1 Mater Dei is going to win. They're ranked number 1 in the country. But I think there's some interesting variables and storylines where, hey, let's look at the Friars. They've done everything, almost as well as expected this year. They're 8-0. They've blown out everybody for the most part. They are a senior-laden team. But why can't they pull it off? They have a matchup with, Tetero McMillan. That's going to be as good as that Mater Dei secondary and defense is. Do they really have a guy that can match up with Tetaroa, where you have, there's no Damani Jackson this year because unfortunately Damani's hurt, but there is Cam Sidney. Can't overlook Cam Sidney. Maybe he steps up. He's committed to Cal. He's a senior,
Right.
and he's one of their best leaders on the team, playing wise and just leadership wise is Cam Sidney. But I'm pretty, we know that Tetaroa is pretty much unstoppable though. So then there's also last year, Ian Burnett didn't play in this game. Servite tight end, a favorite target of Noah Fafita. So how about that? And then you also wonder about how's the health of Malik Brown, who was very dynamic against Bosco and helped, keep Bosco's defense off balance in the way he was a threat to run, threat to break it to the house anytime. But he hasn't had a lot of carries since that Bosco games. How's Malik doing? Elijah Brown, sophomore quarterback, had a little shaky game against Olu, but bounced back so well last week. I think that was against Santa Margarita, through five touchdowns. So there's a couple things to watch on this one. Who are you picking, and what do you think of some of my theories out there, Mr. Fryer?
I think your theories are all good, and I think T-Mac's going to make plays. Fafita's going to throw it up in the air, and T-Mac's going to jump. He could pull a dollar bill off the top of a backboard, I think, if you asked him to. Might have to put a $10 bill up there to have him do it, but he would do it. But I think he's going to be a handful. I see him getting a couple, end zone visits. But I think if I'm Mater Dei, I'm going after Fafita like heck. He throws really well on the run, but I'm flushing him out of there. I'm making him throw on the run. Maybe I make David Bailey go in there and blitz him a couple times too. They're a fantastic linebacker for Mater Dei. Mater Dei just has to play a Mater Dei game. They have to play, mistake-free. They have to limit their penalties. Penalties can be a problem sometimes in Mater Dei games and sometimes in Mater Dei-Servite games. Can't give Servite, an extra 10 yards, 15 yards this way, that way. Can't do that, okay? Because Servite, this is the most talented Servite team we've seen in a few years. So Mater Dei's got to play a clean game, not let the whoop, get going. They got to, get the running game going too, right? To balance things out like you were mentioning. So I think all of your stuff is good there. For Servite, same deal. You can't give Mater Dei, you can't go 1st and 20 against Mater Dei's defense. You can't give them a free 15 yards up the field on a pass interference penalty, personal foul, whatever. These teams got to play very disciplined and very smart. Officials are going to be looking for stuff, maybe, maybe the officials going to be a little quicker to throw the flag, because they want to keep everything calmed down. But Mater Dei, I pick a Mater Dei to win this game. I think if Mater Dei just plays a Mater Dei game, they're going to be fine. Servite's got all the capability to do it. Also, Servite's never trailed this season yet, right, Dan? So
I don't believe so. They've been getting off to great starts all season.
If Mater Dei's up 14-0 all of a sudden, what's that do to the Servite mindset? Does that mess them up? They got comeback capability with Fafita and all those guys and Burnett. They got to Servite needs to get Burnett more involved in the game. I've seen Servite playing that, and I didn't think they threw to Burnett as much as they could or should, right? So I think they need to get him involved in the game pretty early too. So it's not like double coverage on T-Mac and he's not the sole thing going on. You got to get Houston Thomas, running for some first downs too of your Servite football. You got to get that going. Can you do that against that front, that excellent front of Mater Dei? I don't know. So I think just logically, Mater Dei's the pick. But as far as can they do it? Heck yeah, Servite can do it. But logically, you got to go the Monarchs.
And I think, the ability for Servite to run the ball is going to be important because of that pass rush. And you can't be, if you're behind, and then Mater Dei's defense knows what's coming at them, and they're going to pin their ears back, as coaches like to say, and come after Noah, who does move well, like you said.
Sure does. But goes really well on the run.
And Noah can run it. If they can get Houston going. Hoy Hansen has been coming on running the ball. For Servite. So I think running the ball is going to be important for Servite. Mentioned David Bailey. He had 4 sacks in this game last year. It's going to be interesting. Both the ground games. Servite's defense with that fine linebacker crew, they did okay against Relique Brown last game in the spring.
Yeah.
Relique had about 13 carries in that game and about 60 yards, and it was Marcise Yetz who broke a very long touchdown run. And it wasn't so the Servite defense, Troy Thomas dialing it up. Teteroa now playing defense, I think, is helping the corner.
Yep. Jacob Manu at linebacker, Brock Berline back there at safety, who hits people with vengeance. He is really good. Love watching that dude hit.
Middle of the field is going to be important. Berline, Josh Hunter, for Mater Dei, it's their safety position. Quincy Craig. It's going to be a very interesting game. There's a lot of talent on the field. I am also picking Mater Dei. I originally thought that Mater Dei, the lack of games was really going to catch up to them. I really thought that was going to be a problem this year. And that's why I thought they were going to lose to Bosco. And they were able to overcome that. And they've,
it's not a factor now, is it?
Not a factor. I think that was the blow that they survived. And I think this game has a chance to be better than the Mater Dei Bosco game, which was good for a first half. It was tied up 21-21, and then Bosco struggled in the second half, and Mater Dei pulled away. I think this has a chance to go into the third and fourth quarter. Can
you imagine overtime in this game, Dan? Can you imagine when there's an overtime in this game?
Oh my gosh, man! That bowl.
The game's already 8 o'clock. We're going to be playing till midnight, man.
Already sold out in minutes. This is a very highly anticipated game. It's a game that Servite has been gearing for a long time. Those seniors, and this is their special senior class. And then Mater Dei on the other side, they talk a lot about brotherhood as well.
Sure.
They know if Mater Dei wins this, the Trinity League is theirs. The number 1 seed is basically theirs in Division I, because next week Mater Dei closes against J. Sarah, and Servite next week in Week 10 takes on Bosco. So, and then Mater Dei, these rivalry games, both these teams get up for each other. So
sure,
it's going to be
the parents.
Yeah, I mean, so even the and us media guys are excited for it as well.
Can you help anybody get tickets, Dan? Can you help people get tickets? I can't either.
If you're a accredited media member, I can guide you in the right direction to who to talk to. Maybe you need to talk to Kevin Kiernan at Mater Dei to get you on the pass list. But because it's Mater Dei's home game, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're both picking Mater Dei. And the games we disagree with, I think the only game we disagreed on was Santiago-Rancho Alamitos.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that's right. I like the Cavaliers, man. I saw them play last week. Doug Oswalt doing a great job with those kids, and they got a great buzz about them too. I like that. Anyway, pretty cool stuff. It's gonna be a great week.
It is gonna be a great.
Seeing how these things go out. Mater Dei-Servite is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be so fun.
Well, it's great chatting with you, Friar. And
yes,
be sure to watch all our coverage this week, Friars picks, all that stuff on OC Varsity.